This week's episode is sponsored by the latest installment in the Babysitter Massacre book franchise, Babysitter Massacre: Family Splatters. It's got all the mayhem, blood, breasts, and beasts you've come to expect, and it's now available on paperback and ebook on Amazon.com. But if you want to get extra excited and you like free, we have a very special offer for you. If you go to Amazon.com and search Babysitter Massacre: Daddy's Little Killer, you can read the first book in the series completely free on ebook. That's for the next 5 days, ending on March 28th. So head over to Amazon, type in Babysitter Massacre: Daddy's Little Killer, and get yourself an ebook free, and then make sure to check out the follow-up novel, Babysitter Massacre: Family Splatters. They're slasher movies for your bookshelf, so they make you look classy. So get scared today.
What's that? You want to be scared? Come with me. You will experience tales of horror, ghosts, and death. It is not recommended for the weak at heart. Listen in the dark. It's more fun that way. This is Weekly Spooky.
It's Wednesday, and you know what that means. It's time to get your dose of spooky on the weekly. I'm your host and narrator, Henrik Kuto, and I'm excited to bring you a little fun escapism. Not to get too real, but before we get to the story, I have been in the process of recovering from you-know-what. That thing that's going around, that thing that has caused a global panic for so long, and the recovery has been slow. I've actually been recovering for almost 2 months. It's made recording the show a challenge at times, but it's always made recording the show a joy. So I want to thank everybody who has been subscribing and commenting and sending in stories and sending in emails and backing us on Patreon and sending us tips on our tip jar. If you want to support us in any of those ways, please go to WeeklySpooky.com. But I just want to say thank you for giving me something to do every week, even when shortness of breath is one of my symptoms. I still manage to knock a great story out for you every single week. And of course, I wouldn't be able to do that without our great authors. Speaking of great authors, this week we have more of a fun romp story, because that's what I'm feeling after having a lot of dark and scary days here and there. I wanted something light and fun and bloody and sleazy. And of course, our good buddy Rob Fields has no problem delivering that, so we're heading back to Strickfield, and we're going to find out what's going on with this Taibon vampire hunter. She's lean, she's mean, she apparently has a good body, and she's ready to rid this high school of its vampire cheerleader problem. So, my friends, get comfortable. It's time to listen to the story. And I'll be back afterward to chat a little bit more, but let's do it. The Bad Schoolgirl by Rob Fields. I walk into the main entrance of Strickfield High School with Aileen Donnerly, or just simply Einstein. Einstein was a name her older brother Martin hung on her because of how unbelievably smart she is. How smart exactly is she? Well, over that blizzard weekend, Martin and I had just finished having some hot morning fucking. We stopped for some pillow talk, and he told me that Einstein once took his HD TV apart. She easily put it back together, but now he could access all of the satellite channels and streaming services for free. She even doubled the picture quality. I look at the geek now and just want to wring her fucking neck, but of course I won't. The problem with Einstein is that she's always so fucking direct with me. She never sugarcoats shit. For example, I asked her why I fucking put up with her. I would have expected her to say, because I'm sleeping with Martin, but no, she says it's because she's so cute that I really like her. I do have to admit, Einie is cute. I also have to admit the little shit does grow on you. We're walking the halls of Strickfield High, and I know I'm in hell. Just a few days ago, I had to deal with Jaren Hatley when she was on the ultimate caffeine high and tried to send Principal Matthew Van Diest on a permanent vacation. Speaking of whom, he's standing right outside the door of the main office, and he's eyeing both me and Einie. I'll tell him to fuck off if he says something to me, but he doesn't. He's definitely checking me out, all right. Either he's got an eye for me, or it's the fact that I'm wearing this fucking schoolgirl outfit again. Plaid miniskirt, white blouse with the sleeves torn off and tied up to my tummy, and my 80s Reebok pump basketball shoes. I've been wearing this fucking outfit because if I wear any of Einie's other clothes, I'd feel batshit claustrophobic and shred them, and I don't really want to go shopping for new clothes. Okay, Einie, where are these vampire cheerleaders you want me to check out? I ask. They usually hang out in the North Hall, Einie replies in her mousy voice. This way. I let Einie lead me to said hallway. Sure enough, 6 cheerleaders are huddled together and yakking away. I immediately see the items of old bloodstone they're wearing as jewelry. Old is spelled old, with an E on the end. See, I'm the only vampire who can truly walk freely in the daylight. These bitches are using old bloodstone to be able to walk in the daytime and not burn. Einie and I just walk right past them. Then I start hearing nearby jocks whooping and hollering. Turns out they're doing it to me. It's the Bad Schoolgirl. You're such a badass. Will you marry me? How about a date, babe? And that definitely pisses off the cheerleaders. Remember, most cheerleaders love the attention since they are at the top of the food chain in the female circuit of high schools. Now that they've seen me, they're not going to be so happy. In fact, they all turn towards me and advance. The hallway gets quiet in a big fucking hurry. I'm ready to defend Einie if they decide to vamp out. Who said you could walk our hallway, bitch? Alyssa Mirren demands. Her twin sister Allie grins. This is our hallway. You need special permission to walk it. How much money you got? The other 4 just look on in anticipation. I really feel the need to laugh. I'll let you in on a little secret. Being the one unique type of vamp that I am means that I can detect other vamps, whether they're master or not. Now, these bitches are just regular vamps, which means they think I'm completely human. Only other master vamps can detect me. In this case, they don't notice my eyes are red. I give them the same sexy smile that Martin loves so much. Oh, you two are so cute. I raise my finger. How about this? You two can take turns sucking my dick, and I'll come and go wherever the fuck I like. The twins just look at each other, mouths wide. They're ready to start a full-on fight with me. I quickly raise my arm. Now's not the time. I give them a quick nod to my right. They look to see Principal Van Diest staring attentively down this hallway. The twins each raise a hand, telling the others to back off. We'll let you go this one time, as a courtesy, Allie says. Next time you come down here, you'll be paying, Alyssa adds. I laugh as Einie and I turn and walk away. Einie asks me, You think that was wise, Bells? What, pissing them off? Fuck yeah, they'll be looking for me. Exactly what I want. I lightly slap her shoulder. Don't worry, I've got a plan. And then I smell Principal Van Diest coming our way. I wait for him to reach us. What can I do for you on this very fine day, sir? I crack, not even turning around. He takes hold of my shoulder and turns me around. Look, I know you're new here, but we don't need you starting trouble already. I smile. No trouble. No trouble at all. Like you said, I'm new here. Just want to get familiar with my new school. He glares at me. I heard what you said to those girls." "Yeah? And? You gonna take me to the office and wash my mouth out with soap?" Then I glare back and tell him where only he and Aini can hear me. "I would love to see you try." He's irritated with me, but he knows he can't really do anything. Then I show him my schedule. Room 237 is first period. Far as I'm concerned, we're allowed to walk the halls freely to get to our classes. Maybe you should say something to the cheerleaders, unless that is, of course, they're in charge here. When he doesn't answer me, I flash my sexy smile again. Way I see it, the students run this school. You're just here collecting a paycheck. If you really do run things here, then fucking grow a pair. As I turn to leave, he grabs my arm again. "Don't you test me." I'm still smiling my sexy smile. That's more like it. I take my arm back. "Now fuck off and help make this school a better place." Aini and I turn away from the principal and resume heading to room 237. The cheerleaders just glare at us as we walk right past them. I even make sure to flip the twin bees off. Throughout the day, I end up having classes with both Aini and members of the cheerleading squad. I can easily keep an eye on said people. The downside is that several horny boys are keeping their eyes on me. I hadn't planned on being labeled the Bad Schoolgirl, but what could I do? I couldn't just let Jaren Hatley have her way with Principal Van Diest. Oh well. I don't have to be the least bit afraid of the boys. I catch an occasional glare from whatever cheerleaders are in my classes, but I just give them right back. Thanks to my ultra-sensitive hearing, another master vampire quality, I can easily hear the cheerleaders talking. Tonight is a basketball game in the gym. After the game, they're meeting the boys for their ritual. They don't say where. Yeah, you bitches do that. You go hunt for your victims, and I'll hunt all of you. That night, Aini and I are just outside the gym. Sure enough, the cheerleaders are inside and the game is going on. "What are you going to do, Bells?" Aini asks me. "Oh, I think I'll head on in and watch the game," I tell her. I can tell Aini's a little scared. "You can go home if you want. I can handle those bitches." Aini shakes her head quickly. "No, I got you into this. I'm gonna see it through." I turn my attention back to the gym. Me too. Then I can move on. Now Aini's gone from scared to upset. "No!" "We can talk about this later," I say. "No!" Aini grabs my wrist and pulls me into the empty library. Then she points right at me. "You are not going to just up and leave Martin like that." I fold my arms in front of me. "I asked you this before. I'll ask you again. Am I just supposed to wear Martin's college ring? Look, I only stayed because you told me there were vampires on the cheerleading squad. Okay, I confirmed they're vampires, and I'll deal with them. Once I do, then that's it. I'll give your uniforms back and get my shit and finally leave Strickfield." Einstein's really pissed now. She shakes her head. "I said no! You are not walking out on Martin like that. He's really into you." She points right at me. "And not just because you're fucking him." I narrow my eyes on her. "What are you saying? That Martin's in love with me? I don't buy that. We've only known each other for about a week. We're just sleeping together, Aini. That's it. And you... What are we supposed to be, besties? Hang out at the mall together and do each other's nails? I'm over 100 fucking years old. I hunt supernatural vermin. I'm a fucking Taibon. I'm a master vampire. A normal life will never be in my future. Why can't you understand that?" "Stop acting all high and mighty, Bells," Aini snaps. "And stop running away all the time." "Who the fuck is running away?" I demand. "I don't have any family left to run away from. I'm the last in my family tree. I'm alone in this world, and that's the way it has to be." I unfold my arms and raise my finger. "Has it ever occurred to you that my being in your house is potentially putting you and Martin in terrible danger? All an enemy would have to do is know that I'm staying with you both, and they'll come at me. Through the two of you." I point to the gym. Case in point, those bitches know you're with me. What's to keep them from attacking your house? Einie and I continue to argue. Some of Einie's shit gets to be repetitive. I've finally had enough and walk out of the library. Einie's right behind me. We're not done here, Bells. You're risking bodily harm, Einstein. I tell her when she grabs my wrist again. You are not just going to up and leave Martin like that, Einie hisses. I don't turn to her. I really don't have time for this shit right now. We'll talk about it when we're done with what I'm here for. I look inside the gym. Fuck! The game's over. The cheerleaders are gone. I turn to Einie. I could have been keeping an eye on those bitches, but no, you had to get all fucking emotional on me. I turn to her. Why don't you just go home? I'm gonna have to track them down now before they hurt innocents. You're just slowing me down here. I march right into the gym to start tracking the vampire bitches. Unfortunately, I can hear Einie crying behind me. I can't worry about that right now. But then I suddenly stop, dead in my tracks. God damn it! Thornton Gillian never had any fucking feelings when he was a master vampire. You'd think that when his blood mixed with mine, I'd have no feelings either. True, I'm a master vampire, but I'm my own breed. I still have my humanity, which means I still have feelings, and now I feel like a complete piece of shit for hurting Einie's feelings. I turn around and walk back to her. Okay, come on. She doesn't move. I have to make this right. Okay, I admit it, I'm a fucking hardcore cunt. You should know by now that I don't have a filter. I say what I feel. I'm just telling you the honest truth here. This is the hardest thing for me to say. I'm sorry, okay? I know I was harsh, but I just wanted you to understand. I can't be with anybody on a full-time basis. I just can't. Einie gets her shit together. Martin's been taking care of me ever since our parents died. He's been working at Mirren Automotive during the week and Friday nights and weekends at Denoyer's Grill just to keep a roof over our heads and the bills paid. All while taking classes at Strickfield U. He's all I have. I just want the best for him. I know he's really into you. My brother's been with other girls, but he's never looked at them the way he looks at you, Bells. I'm begging you, please don't hurt him. I put a hand on Einie's shoulder. Martin and I will talk about things and go from there, but I make no promises. She nods. Okay. Now come on, let's go find those cheerleaders. We turn and head to the girls' locker room. As I suspected, they're not in the showers. I've been around them long enough to get their sense. When we go outside, I see their footprints in the snow. Until they stop dead. They flew away, Einie. I tell her. They turned into bats and flew off. I can't go after them since I can't change form. You're a vampire. You can't change form? Einie shrieks. If I can, I've never figured out how to do it. I'll have to leap in order to go after them. If you're coming, then you're gonna have to hang on tight. I grab Einie and leap high into the night sky. I still have their scents in the air. I manage to go a full 3 miles before I have to land and take another leap. Glad Einie remembered to wear her jacket. The scent is getting stronger as I land near a forest. Then I look and see some cars. I recognize a few of them and know they belong to some of the jocks. Stupid boys. They probably met up with the cheerleaders thinking they're gonna get laid. Yeah, they'll fucking get laid all right. It's gonna get dangerous inside these woods, Einie, I whisper. You need to stick close to me. When I tell you, you run and hide. Got it, Bells, she whispers back. I take Einie's hand and lead her into the woods. The bitches aren't that far away now. Their scent is very strong. Thanks to my vampire vision, I can easily see in the dark as if it's still the light of day. We walk a little bit until we move behind a big redwood. There are 4 guys there with the cheerleaders. They're all around a campfire. It looks as if 2 of them are flat on their backs while the other 2 are in a trance. I know I could have saved them if I'd acted sooner, but I have feelings. I guess it's no wonder why other vampires I've taken down tell me that having feelings is my biggest weakness. Fuck them! I lean over to Aini and whisper in her ear, "Stay here." I see her nod before I let go of her hand. I take off my shoes and hand them to her. Then I move and leap over to the other side of the fire. Everybody hears me land. When I reveal myself, everybody that can look does. The twin Mirren bees point right at me. "You shouldn't have come here," Allie hisses. "6 of us to 1 of you," Alyssa notes. "You really came out here alone?" one of the other cheerleaders asks in surprise. I put my hand to my chin. 6 of you to 1 of me. I lower my hand and look at them. "Yeah, you're right. Those are definitely bad odds." "Yours." Then I vamp out, changing my face and readying my claws. Then the bitches scream? What the fuck? The bitches are actually scared of me? I guess so, because they all turn tail and run. The 2 guys that are still tranced just stand there. I check on the 2 guys that are down. Aini approaches me. I'm ready to tell her she should have stayed put, but I know she's concerned. "Are they dead, Bells?" I feel for pulses. No, thankfully. And then I finally understand. I know why those bitches are wearing the old bloodstone. Aini, what made you think they were vampires? "I saw them smile and show fangs like yours," she tells me. Alyssa also showed me her claws, but they have to be vampires. They turned into bats, right? "Yeah, they did, but they freaked out when they saw me, Aini. They can't possibly know that I'm a master vampire." "You mentioned old bloodstone, Bells." "Right. And here's what I determined. If they were true vampires, they could use old bloodstone to be able to walk in the daylight. However, they would have to keep their stones charged by drinking twice as much innocent blood. And by innocent, I mean virgin blood. I've been listening around school. I haven't heard a single story about any bodies being drained of blood, or of that many people even disappearing. So, we get to the other possibility. Those bitches are practicing witchcraft and are using the old bloodstone to turn themselves into vampires. Though they can walk by daylight, which means their transformations aren't complete. They have to charge their stones with soul energy in order to maintain their powers and continue their transformations. What they don't realize is, once their transformations are complete, they would need virgin blood to charge their stones to be able to walk around during the daylight. I think you and I both know that pure virgin blood is very hard to come by in this day and age. I point to the guys. You keep an eye on them. I'm going after those fucking bitches. They didn't turn into bats this time. I can easily find the 6 girls, thanks to both their scents and their footprints. Seriously, I've heard over the years that cheerleaders can be such fucking airheads, but this is too much. I easily find 2 of them together. They're both holding each other. Their faces are half vamped. Suddenly, they scream and try to come at me. Classic rookie mistake. I snatch the both of them up and toss them over my shoulders. They both hit the snowy ground and moan. I'm on both of them before they realize it. They scream as I reach my claws out for them and relieve them of their old bloodstone jewelry to make them human again. I hold one girl to me as I glam the other to get information. When I get what I want, I glam the other. Unlike normal vampires who can only glam as a means of hypnosis, I can both bend people to my will and actually look into their memories, whether they remember or not. I come to find that these bitches have indeed killed people by taking their souls to charge their old bloodstone jewelry. I could easily kill these 2, but I'm not a butcher. No, I have a much more suitable punishment for them. I peer so deeply into their psyches and corrupt them so that they ultimately end up going insane. I let the girls go and pursue the others. 2 more scream as they come out of their hiding places and attack me. I easily swat them away like flies. They truly have no idea of how fast a full vampire can move, even more so for a master. I'm on both of them before they can even get up. So tell me, was this thing with using old bloodstone to turn yourselves into vampires your idea? I ask, knowing full well that it's not. We just wanted to live forever, one of them says. We just wanted to be important, the other says. You don't know what it's like to be invisible to people. I'm not sure whether they can see me smile or not, but I find what they say funny. Actually, yes, I do know what it means to be invisible to people. The only difference between you two and me is I choose to be invisible. But you two, such stupid girls, you took lives for selfish reasons. Well, now you'll have all the attention you two could ever want. I'll see to that personally. I take their old bloodstone and also make them insane. That just leaves the little twin Mirren bees. Like the others, they made the mistake of screaming before attacking me. These two are fully vamped out and want to give me a fight. Looks like these twin girls are the strongest out of what was their squad. They've probably siphoned more energy compared to the others. Well, they are Mirrens. All they care about is money and power, but being a Mirren means so very little to a Taibon. While Alyssa and Allie are close enough to being full vampires, they're finding out that there are bigger predators out there than them. They try to fight me with just basic street fighting. I'm a master of many different martial arts. To finish them off, I thrust my foot into one twin's gut so hard I can hear her spine crackle hard in many places. Then she falls onto her back. As for the other twin, I quickly bring my other foot up over my shoulder and connect with her neck. The slight crack tells me that I've damaged her spine also. She falls immediately. After relieving the twins of their stones, they become fully human once more. Only now, the two of them are paralyzed for life. I could drive them insane, but I feel like I've done enough. No, I won't let them die out here. I bring the cheerleaders back to the campfire where Aini is. I know she has a smartphone, so I tell her to call 911 and ask for some ambulances. I still feel soul energy inside these stones, so I recite the spell to release the energy and send it back to the rightful owners. The 2 guys that were flat on their backs begin to move again. I make sure they're okay before I glam them and make them forget all about me. You better get out of here, Bells, Aini tells me. I can see the flashers coming over there. I'll get this. I see where Aini's pointing. Good idea. You gonna be okay if I leave you here? Aini grabs my wrist one more time. Please don't leave Strickfield. Don't leave Martin. I'll be at the house when you get home, Aini. I promise. Also, I promised you that I'd talk to Martin. I'll be waiting for you. When Aini lets go, I leap into the air and am long gone before the police and ambulances get there. I have no doubt that Einstein will take care of everything. Well, I won't go into every detail about all the sappy shit. It's 2 weeks later and it's Friday at Strickfield High School. I look at my nails that Aini polished for me. God damn you, Aini. As you can tell, I did keep my word to Aini and remained at the house. Martin was already home when I got there. He looked tired from his classes. Still, he had enough energy to come and take me in his arms. As much as I wanted to tell Martin that we were done, and that I wanted to leave Strickfield, I realized I just couldn't do that to him. Not like that. Again, part of me wished that I'd lost my emotions when I became a master vampire. But I love and need to feel, which is something very few vamps can do. Martin and I made love for the first time that night. Normally, we just fuck. As for Aini, I think she pretty much knew that I was sticking around. The next morning, still 2 weeks ago, Martin had to go to work and then classes. He would be gone all day. It was just Aini and me. and we went to school. Wouldn't you know it, both of us were called into the principal's office. Turned out that the talk of the school was that the cheerleading squad was permanently gone. It was in the Strickfield newspaper that something had happened to them in the woods near the south end of the village limits. 4 of them were committed to a facility called Glenview, which was near North Ridgeway. As for the twins, they ended up in a special hospital over in Shore City where they would be cared for the rest of their lives. It didn't surprise me that their parents didn't want to care for them themselves. Fucking rich misers. Anyway, getting back to Principal Van Diest, he had both Einie and me in front of him. He pointed right at us. I don't know what happened with the cheerleaders, but I know that you two had something to do with it. I roll my eyes. Can you even prove any of this shit? If not, go fuck yourself and let us go back to class. Oh, you're going back to class all right. He stood up and put his palms on the desk. He had this weird smirk on his face. I want you two to go see Miss Temple in her office. Now. I believe you know the way, Aileen. You can take our new student to meet her. When Aileen got up, I was a bit reluctant. I wanted to see what else this shitheel had to say. When he told me to get going, I got up. Before we left, I made sure he saw me give him the finger and flick my tongue. Einie took us to the gym and to Miss Temple's office there. Turned out she taught a few of the gym classes, a few of the English classes, and was also the cheerleading coach. She looked really fucking happy to see us. There were 4 other girls there too. I won't go into details on them, but just seeing the 6 of us, we had the strangest mix there. Miss Temple couldn't wait to tell the 6 of us that we were all the new fucking cheerleader squad. Bullshit, I quickly told her and stepped back. You can fucking kiss my ass. Believe it or not, Miss Temple wasn't even upset with me. She just simply said, language. Then she explained that Principal Van Diest had personally handpicked the 6 of us to be the new cheerleaders of Strickfield High. I still told Miss Temple to go fuck herself. Then I about lost my fucking shit when I saw that Einie and the others gladly accepted their uniform and shoes. As much as I protested, Einie looked so happy to have been given such an opportunity. I would have also told Einie to go get fucked, but we've had time to bond over the last several days. So, not only am I possibly developing feelings for Martin, I've gotten used to having Einie around. I think I've said this before, but she fucking grows on you. As soon as we were back out in the hallway, I grabbed Einie's shoulders. I am so gonna fucking kill you. No, you won't, she said quickly. I'm your best friend. Again, always so fucking direct. Getting back to now, I'm wearing a fucking cheerleader uniform. It'll be another game night as a full-fledged cheerleader. Oh, and now I'm known as both the Bad Schoolgirl and the Bad Cheerleader. Einie told me she had a reason for the 2 of us joining the squad, and it wasn't for us to show off our tits and asses in front of the crowds at the basketball games. Einie explained that a lot of shit goes on here in Strickfield. She promised me there would be more than enough work to keep me here for a very long time. In other words, we'd be keeping our eyes and ears open for shit to investigate. Over time, I would learn other interesting things about the other 4 cheerleaders. So, I sigh to myself and realize I've gotten too close to the Donnerleys and the great food at Denoyer's Grill. Looks like I'm stuck in this fucking village indefinitely. Seriously, why couldn't I have lost my feelings when Thornton Gillian's blood mixed with mine over 100 years ago? Well, I hope you had a good time with that, because I sure did. You know, I'm not a huge fan of actually existing in high school, but the Strickfield High School that Rob Fields has created sure is a lot more fun than the real thing. Although, I feel like my high school had plenty of blood-sucking sons of bitches. But anyway, thank you so much for tuning in this week. Sorry if I got a little too heavy at the opening of the show. I didn't want to worry anybody. That's why I kind of kept it to myself. But at the same time, I wanted to just share that, you guys have really helped me out a lot by supporting the show, listening every week, and sending kind words. When you send in an email that says you had a bad week, but then you got to listen to the show and it cheered you up. When you send in a story that says, you and your significant other sit down and listen to the show in the dark together, makes me feel great. Makes me feel awesome. Especially considering I've done this 76 times so far, and I have no plans to stop anytime soon. So if you love the show, send us an email at weeklyspooky@gmail.com or go to weeklyspooky.com. There are lots of ways you can interact, you can get involved. And speaking of getting involved, I want to welcome a brand new Podcast Booster. Podcast Boosters are Patreon backers that not only get all of the benefits of Patreon, but also get a shout out every single week. Our brand new Patreon Podcast Booster is Donna Craddock. I hope I'm saying your name right. I believe that I am. But Donna Craddock, thank you so much. We also have Michael, aka Charm, Karen Weemet, Jeff and George Hilton, Craig Cohen, Rob Fields, and Kevin Fry. Wow. That number is growing, and I cannot tell you how much it means to me. Let's see if we can get that number growing so much that I have to extend the ending theme song. But anyway, my friends, make sure to check out the brand new Babysitter Massacre book you heard about at the top of the show. Make sure to come back next Wednesday. And if you haven't subscribed, get on that. So for myself, for my producer Dan Wilder, for my composer Ray Mattis, I am out of here, and I will talk at you later.
Thank you for listening. Make sure to find your way back next week. But for now, you are safe. Trust me.